On a time, there was a beautiful maiden with a good heart who lived in relative obscurity until she was noticed by the handsome prince. He crawled across broken glass to be noticed by her, to win her heart. She fell in love with him, and they lived happily ever after. Parents told this story to their young daughters for decades, traumatizing them because they were planting a seed in the minds of these little girls. Your value is tied to your beauty. And if you are the most beautiful, then you deserve the best. The princes of the earth need to pursue and win you. You are the prize if you are the beautiful maiden in the fairy tale. Fast forward a bit, and these little girls grow up to slowly realize that they are not the maidens in the fairy tale. They go to their homecoming dances, and the homecoming king did not pick them to be his prize. He picked the captain of the cheerleaders or the drill team, someone other than them. And they slowly had to accept that they were not perfect. They were not the 10 in the story. But along came the internet and dating apps. And suddenly, there were more princes to choose from. These little girls could once again pursue their dreams of finding the prince and living happily ever after. However, what they didn't realize was that these princes had very different dating strategies than the maidens. You see, there's this thing called the friend zone, and women and men both have categories of people who they interact with. People who they'll date seriously, and people who are in the friend zone. The difference between women and men is that women don't generally sleep with men who are in their friend zone. Men do. So you had maidens who thought that they were princesses because these princes are sleeping with them, but these princes are not committing to them. What's wrong? This prince is a knucklehead. I need to find another one. Rinse and repeat as you continue to look for the prince who will see you and your value. The issue isn't really the princes. The issue is the maidens who think that they are the beauty from the fairy tale when they're not. Let's reflect on something. The stepmothers are nines. They are the most beautiful, save for the one true beauty in the land. And what's the difference between the 10 and the 9? The 10 gets the prince, and the 9 is meatloaf. Worthless, useless, unworthy, unwashed. The difference between a 10 and a 9 is cataclysmic. The difference between a 9 and a 5? Coin toss. Why is there such resistance to being rated? Well, because 10s are special and everything else is not. And if you force someone to acknowledge their rating, you force them to acknowledge that their expectations need to be adjusted to match it. A 10 can ask for the stars and the moon because a 10 deserves it. You're a 10. You get the best. But if you're a 9, well, you don't get the best. You have to settle for wonderful. That just won't do. As your ratings continue to drop, your expectations need to drop accordingly. Before you know it, you're just normal. And, well, normal deserves normal. But who wants that? Everyone wants special. Not everyone deserves special. 10s do. No one else does. So, ratings are essential because ratings force you to acknowledge not where you are so much as where you aren't. You are not a 10. You are not a unicorn. And your expectations need to match that. I spend oodles of time breaking down my evaluations, my ratings of the market to women who are interested in understanding what high income earners look at when they're looking for women to date. Plenty of data out there. Go take a look. Debate it if you choose to, but the reality is, it is what it is. And if you're not a 10, then you need to ask yourself whether your expectations have been set to where you are.